U.S. envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are heading to Islamabad for fresh talks on the Iran war, but uncertainty looms over any breakthrough. Tehran has moved out of Islamabad, as in Araghchi, the foreign minister, has taken a flight out of Islamabad, so no face-to-face negotiations taking place for now. That could create hurdles in the peace process. Key sticking points include the U.S. naval blockade and the tensions of the Strait of Hormuz, which continue to disrupt global energy markets. As of now, the road to a deal remains complex and fragile. More in this report.
Top US negotiators Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are traveling to Islamabad for a fresh round of negotiations with Iran. Washington says that the talks will be held in person, but Tehran is signaling otherwise. Iranian state media insists that there are no immediate plans for direct face-to-face meetings, raising early doubts about the progress of talks. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi held discussions with Shehbaz Sharif and Asim Munir, positioning Islamabad as a mediator rather than a venue for direct negotiations. The biggest obstacle remains trust. Iran has refused to fully engage while a US naval blockade on its ports continues, a move Tehran calls piracy and has warned it will respond to if it persists.
They have hit our infrastructure. They impose a blockade on us so that the people become dissatisfied, so that the current satisfaction turns into dissatisfaction. How can we resist this? In the areas where they think they can sow dissatisfaction, people should not allow the ground for it to take hold at all.
At the same time, Iran has tightened its own grip on the Strait of Hormuz, restricting traffic through one of the world's most critical oil routes. This has rattled global energy markets and increased pressure to reach a deal. Diplomatic momentum has also slowed after earlier talks failed to produce concrete outcomes, leaving both the sides far apart on key conditions. The US, on the other hand, is simultaneously increasing pressure on Iran, freezing $354 million in crypto assets and imposing fresh sanctions on Chinese buyers of Iranian oil, moves that could further complicate the negotiations. Meanwhile, Iran's defense ministry says that Washington is looking for a face-saving exit from what it is calling a war quagmire. On the ground, Israel continues to strike in Lebanon, which has killed many despite a ceasefire, while Iran-backed groups warn against any deal with Israel, adding another layer of instability. Global leaders are also feeling the fallout. Friedrich Merz has called the war totally unnecessary, warning that its economic shockwaves are hitting not just Europe but also the United States.
Die geopolitischen Schockwellen des Konfliktes im Nahen Osten.
The geopolitical shockwaves from the conflict in the Middle East are hitting energy markets in Europe just as much as in Asia and the US. We must accept this new economic reality, however difficult that may be. We must accept it. We must come to terms with it. This dependence is not a matter of political opinion. Rather, this dependence makes it very clear. When supply chains are disrupted, when energy prices rise, when geopolitical uncertainty grows, this has a direct impact on Germany.
With indirect talks, rising tensions and no clear agreement on key demands, the path to peace remains uncertain and increasingly fragile. Rabinder Chauhan's report, DD India.
Meanwhile, Abbas Araghchi and the Iranian team concluded their visit to Islamabad ahead of the expected arrival of the U.S. negotiators and departed for their next stop in Muscat. Pakistan has stepped up mediation efforts to revive the talks on ending the West Asia war. During the visit, Araghchi met with Army Chief Field Marshal Asim Munir, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar.